President Trump made a statement after the jury found him guilty of paying money to 34 what everyone called adult actresses.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Sky News couldn't wait to comment.
So let's bring in Mark Stone, who's in DC for us and was listening in. And Mark, look, there were also a number of lies told by Donald Trump during that news conference.
Yes, look, we are seeing a repeat of what we have seen over the course of previous election campaigns with Donald Trump, which his ability to say things which are simply not true. He talked about the Democrats putting up tax 4 times.
They want to raise your taxes by 4 times.
It is true to say that what the Democrats under Joe Biden want to do is to make the tax system fairer. And yes, that will mean that big corporations and special interest groups will pay their fair share of tax. Yes, it will mean that tax rates for large corporations go up. Yes, it will mean that there'll be a crackdown in tax avoidance. Richer people will pay more tax. There are plenty of rich Republicans who will not like that. But broadly, the Democrats' policies will mean a fairer tax system for everyone.
Sky says that President Trump was, in fact, perfectly correct when he said Biden wanted to raise taxes 4 times.
They want to raise your taxes by 4 times.
But, although that is true, at the same time, Trump is wrong to criticize Biden, as Mark Stone thinks that it was a good thing that Biden was increasing taxes because it made the system fairer.
It is true to say that what the Democrats under Joe Biden want to do is to make the tax system fairer.
So, confusingly, while according to Sky News, it is true that
They want to raise your taxes by 4 times.
it is also, somehow, even more.
True to say that what the Democrats under Joe Biden want to do is to make the tax system fairer for everyone.
Mark Stone can't resist commenting that it may not actually be fairer for everyone, because
there are plenty of rich Republicans who will not like that.
Mark Stone goes on to give his next example of what he calls President Trump's
ability to say things which are simply not true.
He falsely claims that President Trump lied about
cars, he says. The Democrats, Biden, will ban cars.
President Trump said no such thing. He criticized the Biden policy of increasing taxes on cars to force people to buy electric cars from China. Here's how Sky misrepresented that part of the president's speech.
Cars, he says. The Democrats, Biden, will ban cars.
They want to stop you from having cars with their ridiculous mandates that make it impossible for you to get a car or afford a car. But make it very possible for China to build all of our cars. It's a very serious problem.
Biden will ban cars. Of course they won't. What they will do, as plenty of governments around the world have said they want to do, is increase taxes on petrol cars.
Make it impossible for you to get a car or afford a car.
In order to try and persuade more people to drive electric cars. And clearly for some on the right of politics, that's something that they won't like.
Make it very possible for China to build all of our cars.
So, again, we see Mark misreporting what President Trump had said, so that he can call out his lie as a Trump lie. And, for a second time, Mark says that, regardless of what President Trump thinks, Biden's policy is a noble thing, because it's in line with plenty of governments around the world. With the added advantage that forcing people to go electric is,
clearly for some on the right of politics, that's something that they won't like.
Mark Stone goes on to give his next example of what he calls President Trump's
ability to say things which are simply not true. Crime, he talked about crime in New York specifically and around the country, but the facts are that crime is actually coming down.
And for a third time, Mark Stone quite unethically misstates what President Trump had said and then calls it out as a lie. Stone tells viewers that the president had claimed that crime all over the country has increased, but President Trump had simply said that crime was rampant in New York. This is how Stone spun this bit of fake news.
Crime, he talked about crime in New York specifically and around the country.
Crime is rampant in New York. Yesterday in McDonald's, you had a man hitting him up with machetes.
Yes, there is a crime problem in the United States. Of course there is.
Crime is rampant in New York.
But the facts are that crime is actually coming down. It had peaked at a time not all that long ago, but it has since been brought down. This is all about perception and reality.
Mark Stone calls President Trump's comment that crime is rampant in New York false. because people are looking at it the wrong way. In fact, he mentions in passing, Biden has actually brought crime down, and tells the viewers that plenty of people in Middle America who are Trump voters have got it all wrong.
They are feeding off what they are told by Donald Trump through news channels like Fox, Newsmax and others. Regarding the border more broadly, the southern border.
Who on earth can want open borders where people are allowed to pour in from countries unknown?
Regarding the border more broadly, the southern border, I mean, objectively, it is correct to say that the southern border in the United States is an absolute mess and that it has got worse under Joe Biden. But then beyond that, he is saying things that are simply false.
So, if viewers are following this fever dream of doublespeak, President Trump is correct to say the southern border is a mess. But, beyond that, on other matters, what he is saying is false. You'll have to join us next time for Sky News to report some actual false statements from President Trump.